Amee Bohrer is from Joliet. She is a receptionist, and she is going to read a short story called Two Lions.
Amee is also an original member of Right On.
And an original member of Right On. Oh, by the way, Teresa, I'm working on a one-woman show too. It's called Marriage. 33 years at it. It's going pretty well. Thank you. Appreciate that. God, there's two jokes that you guys just didn't get tonight. I'm blaming you.
Moth is a joke. Moth is a moth.
Okay. I've been a writer a long time. I think I was about 7th grade when I realized this is my thing. But I mainly am a poet. I have a journalism degree. Some of you might have read from like 2011 to 2013. I was one of the columnists for Common Sense. Denise is an amazing editor and friend, and she invited me to come tonight pretty randomly, and I was like, all right, sounds cool. But I had no idea there was going to be so many people talking about so many different things of all different ages, and I'm used to reading to college-age people. It's just awesome to see so many different people here. And we're all pretty much regular people with regular jobs who are creative and need to get it out somehow, right? So yeah, this is the only short story of fiction I've written since about 6th grade. I just decided to try something different one night. I have a blog, and I blogged this, and I showed it to my friend, and she liked it, so I'm gonna share it with you. Okay, Two Lions. A female lion wandered alone away from her pride. She was designated the hunter, yet something called to her beyond her prescribed role within the pack. She was not designed to kill. Knowing the pride expected of her what she refused to do, she stalked into the wild to find solace. She alerted no one and chose herself. She did not wait for nightfall. Escape was chosen in the morning. The silence and the expansive space quieted her unrest, and she felt at peace. Her journey was not a dangerous one, but lonely. Following only by instinct, she meandered the plain. She was vulnerable. Having left behind the cover of tall grass, she fell to rest when needed, rolled in the mud, dashed to water to overcome thirst. She did not eat. She did not hunt. Yet her strength increased with time. Constantly, she passed by meals upon which she could have feasted. After 2 months of traveling alone, she came upon an abundant field. A quarter-mile away, a male lion strode to a water buffalo carcass. Each step was powerful, his shoulders regal, until he glanced back and saw that finally he was alone. His posture drooped, he hung his head. His mane was now patchy, from relentless battles, ripped out except for a few bloody tufts, but he smelled her. His neck snapped into position, his eyes intent. She was watching in the tall grass, still, not afraid. She advanced on him, her head low and making eye contact. She permitted a low growl. He dropped his eyes and settled into a submissive posture, wanting to honor her. He tossed his head toward the buffalo carcass, and with his left paw tore the right abdomen open. He looked toward her and crept backwards a few feet. Waited. This was extraordinary for him. His appetite was raging. He was usually the first one to eat. He didn't wait for anyone, and he ate until he was full. If others went hungry, that was their problem. He had become aggressive in this way after a lifetime of constant war. He was used to bigger males stealing what was his, even the females. He had learned to hunt in this way, though now he rarely fought unless absolutely threatened, or he had something to prove. But when he wanted something, he was used to getting it. He seemed passive to most, part of his strategy, but she saw this danger in him and respected it. But why such humility from a strange male? She registered his offer, a gift. The flesh sang in her nostrils. Suddenly famished, she licked her teeth, a crippling urge to feast. Inhaling, she took 3 strides forward and then darted left, away from the suspicious gift, away from the male making an offering which smelled familiar. It had been years since she had felt anything like doubt. She was used to forging ahead alone. She was respected and well-liked in her private home, but desperately wanted something more. She was different than her family. They were content, and she was itching for a challenge. She appeared very stoic to most as she began spending more time alone with age. She had a low tolerance for politics. She appeared compliant, but she showed her ferocity only to those who knew her most. To everyone else, she was detached, cold. Conflicted, she stopped and glanced back. He was watching her. He looked different than he would have, but the mask taunted her. It was covered up a bit. He was wounded. Could that be Asha? It was so unlikely. She had thought he was dead. She had grieved him. The blood was still drying, but it covered up his full smell. She couldn't quite place who that male might be, but she wanted to go to him or attack him. She was tired of always winning. Sometimes she snarled at others, just looking for a worthy adversary. Even most males backed down from her. Something about her intimidated them. It wasn't her size. She was small, even for a female. It was her roar. She rarely had to defend herself physically. She was smart enough to evade trouble. But rarely, she would be overcome and would stand nearly paralyzed with energy. She was deaf in one ear and compensated for this defect with a splendid roar. It was lower pitched. Often, when others heard her in these moments, she was mistaken for a male. She, too, was an alpha. She longed to roar as loud as she was able. A shot exploded nearby. Frightened by this unidentifiable threat, she glanced directly at the male and leaped. Dusk was falling. In a nearby tree, she took cover and settled into a restless sleep.
Where's our English teacher? Is it just me, or did that have like a Hemingway feel to it?